Hey Motive Nation, Nick Parr here with you again at Grand Rapids, Michigan at Spectrum Lanes, introducing the new Primal Ghost. Really excited about this new release into the medium oil category. This is going to be a great benchmark ball, just a step up from, say, a Venom Shock. If you need a little bit more down lane motion or just something that's going to give you a little bit smoother overall motion, this is your ball. What we've done is taken the Coercion HFS cover stock from the Jackal Ghost and wrapped that around the Impulse V2 core found in the Primal line, and then we came up with the Primal Ghost. Left it the same colors. We know that cover is very synonymous with performance. So the reason that this new Primal Ghost is actually going to be in the medium oil category is because the Jackal Ghost cover has actually transitioned with the oil and the lane play and the patterns that we see throughout the years, and it's become a little bit smoother overall. It's definitely not as strong as it used to be when it was first introduced. So we took that into consideration, left it at 3,000 like we did with the Jackal Ghost when it was first coming out. And we've noticed that this is a much better fitting ball for the medium oil when they transition, and oil volumes aren't as high as they used to be, and you just need a ball that's going to give you a really controllable motion and continuation down lane. It's going to be a great tournament ball when they transition right after you use your first ball to start out of the bag, and they transition a little bit and you've got to start migrating in to a little bit more puddle, and you need that cover that's going to handle the oil, but you need a little bit more motion down lane or just control the overall motion that you see on the lanes. This is a great option. All right, so the first Primal Ghost you're going to see me throw is my typical tester layout. This is 55 by 5.5 by 35. This is going to be a really good ball that I know that I can take a step left after the lane starts to transition from the fresh. Going to give me a really round continuous motion because I know that this cover is really round and smooth, and I know that this core is still going to give me that little extra motion down lane, but they're going to combine together really well when I've got a little bit of transition going on the lanes. So the second Primal Ghost you're going to see me throw is my typical pin down layout. This is 45 by 5 3/4 by 65. This is going to make it push down a little bit further down lane compared to the pinup one, as it is raising that RG even higher and decreasing the diff. So we're going to see less flare in the front part of the lane, which gets it to scoot down lane a little bit easier, and it's going to store a little bit more energy potentially because that RG is going higher and that diff's going lower, so it's not trying to pick up too much in the oil, and it's going to give me a really round and continuous motion down lane. Something really good when the lanes get choppy and I just need a ball to float across the middle of the lane and have a really round motion at the end of the pattern. All right, so comparing the Jackal Ghost to the Primal Ghost, you're going to see that the Jackal Ghost is much earlier. It's going to force me further left into more of the oil on the lane, and it's going to be an earlier motion and probably just a little bit more overall hook. Definitely not as much down lane because it's going to want to see the mid lane and change directions a little bit earlier and get a little bit more forward down lane. Comparing the Primal Shock to the Primal Ghost, you're going to see that the Primal Shock is a little bit cleaner and quicker down lane. So the cover is about the same in strength overall, but this is what we see on the lanes, is that it's a lot quicker down lane and more overall shape compared to the Primal Ghost. All right, so now I'm going to throw my pinup Primal Ghost and compare it to the Primal Shock. I'm going to stay in the same spot on the lane once I figure out where I need to strike with the Primal Ghost from. Then you'll see how much stronger cover is on the Primal Shock compared. Okay, I'll throw the Primal Shock in the same spot. So right there's a prime example of why we decided that with this new edition of the Jackal Ghost cover on the Primal core, we had to move it down to the medium oil category because it's so much smoother compared to a Primal Shock. As you can see, that Primal Shock scooted a little bit further to the right because it's cleaner out of the box, with a 4,000 finish compared to 3,000. And it's a much more aggressive, faster cover stock compared to the Ghost cover. So meanwhile, it looked like it got further right, but it was much more violent when it changed directions down lane off the end of the pattern. I was standing in the same spot, Ball just floated there easier because of the higher surface and just the overall cleanliness of that cover compared to the Ghost cover.